What is going on out there, peeps? All right, so I'm back from my madness. I told everybody I was going to Vegas. I was looking forward to it. It's my son's 21st birthday. Yeah, it didn't quite go as planned. So I got to the airport about a half hour before we were supposed to take off because of a fire. Yep, I got up to the desk. I could look down where security is, and I could see the gate. No lines whatsoever. I was like, cool. I go to get my ticket. They refuse to give it to me. There's some policy. I said, look, there's a fire out there. It wasn't my fault because of traffic. Nope. They rebooked me for another flight. 7 hours later. So I went in the damn airport for 7 hours. Talking to some fellows about gambling. We're walking down a terminal. We're heading for a plane. No problem. This lady comes up behind me. She's like, can you come here for a second? I was like, sure. I follow her. She walks up to the counter and says, cancel this flight. I was like, why? What happened? She goes, you're not wearing your mask. I had my mask on. It was just below my nose. So she kicked me off the plane for not wearing a mask when I had my damn mask on. The mask Nazis. Now that's Southwestern Airline, by the way. I advise you don't go fly with them. So I asked them when the next flight was. The next flight was in the morning. So I had to stay the night in Oakland at a hotel. Next morning, I go to check on a flight. They say, we got it. It's no problem. Fly from here into LA, and you have a 10-hour layover. Yeah. No other flights. So nonetheless, I didn't make it over there. I was pissed off. So I told my son I have to make it up to him later on. But anyways, that was my whole weekend situation. I didn't get crap accomplished. Stuck everywhere. And to make matters worse, they charged me for all the stuff. Which is good because I paid for my son to have his birthday. But for my room and everything else and flights, I'm like, for what flights? What do you guys charge me for? You didn't even let me get on the damn flights. Anyways, that was my little experience this weekend. It sucked. I was hoping to have a better time. I have to take my son out there another time. Nonetheless, it's happening since I've been gone. What's going on with cryptocurrencies? I know you guys are excited about that dead cat bounce. Except for it's more of a dead cat splat. Then it bounced back up. You guys should be buying precious metals like everybody else is right now. We got June 28th coming up. Plus, this week's going to be very interesting, in my opinion, with silver. I'm curious to see what's going to happen now that it's delivery time for the comics. We're already seeing a huge negative red. So I'm really excited to see what the results are going to be for this week. I think people are just taking control and taking delivery of their silver. If you are thinking about buying precious metals, you know the deal. Go over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Real quick before we get into this, I know what I was going to look at. You know, you got our friends over there at Wall Street Silver YouTube channel and Reddit. Their links would be down below. I'm going to show you this interesting interview they had today. We're going to talk a little bit about it because I like what Greg had to say. You guys, I'm telling you, they did this in 2017. They're doing it again in 2021. This is known as the Wyckoff event. This is a planned event. By now, you guys should be beyond woke, so to speak. You should know that all the powers that be are trying to find ways to drain people of their money. Now, having said that, I did have one of the best, probably ever, conversations with a gentleman who created a cryptocurrency, and for the life of me, since I had a few glasses of wine sitting there waiting for my next flight, I kind of spaced the name of the crypto, but he said some things really interested in me, and though he did agree with this, he says, look, you're going to see cryptocurrencies come back down the ground. I said, okay. He goes, I agree with that area. I said, He goes, and I agree when the dust settles, there's not going to be all these different types of cryptocurrencies. A big chunk of them are not going to make it. I said, okay. He goes, those who have utility uses will stay for sure. So he said, Ethereum is a really good crypto, But I said XRP for Swift 2.0, and he just point blank told me, well, yeah, they're New World Order. He literally said it just like that. I went, oh, okay. So XRP for sure. Ethereum, Bitcoin, he thinks is going to be for the big dogs. It's going to be a big dog token. You know what I mean? For the millionaires and stuff. And I thought it was interesting how he was explaining it. But he went on to explain about some other tokens I was not aware of, I never heard of. So for sure, it's like, you know, Ethereum. Let's see here. A lot of the ones I was talking about. So Bitcoin, Ethereum for sure. XRP, Polkadot. Polkadot has something going on that's big that hasn't been announced yet. Uniswap. And I said, okay. And then he named like 5 or 6 other ones. I was like, I never heard of those ones. So he said, no, these ones are all industry changers. In other words, their use as a cryptocurrency, their platform, their utility use. Each one is unique for different industries. That's why he thinks they're going to survive. And I thought that's really, really cool. His has something to do with the medical field, which I was really interested in. Something about carrying medical records around. So I liked it. I like what he had to say. Nonetheless, let's get back over here. If you look at the 52-week average, where's everybody at? They've either lost 50% of their value or more. Look at Uniswap. They're jumping right up there to almost a new record high. That's the other one I was telling you about. But look at everybody else. They're all below 50%. Every single one of these ones over here. With the exception of this one here. AVE. So that is a lot. But that's coming back down to earth. Now, having said that, let me change my tune only slightly. I don't have a lot of faith in cryptocurrencies as of yet. I have faith when, you know, Andy talked to us about, you know, the energy token. I did like a lot of things he had to say for the purpose of the cryptocurrencies. I like what he had to say. This gentleman was saying the same thing. I said, okay, so mass adoption is necessary. But even so, we just watched Japan or China outlaw cryptocurrencies. And it affected the market. Then Yellen just came out and made some type of announcements against cryptocurrencies and going after people for tax issues. And then the market's still going down. And if people want to believe that Elon Musk, although I do think he influenced Dogecoin, but then influenced the entire market based off some tweets, just tells me how volatile cryptocurrencies really are. So I said to him, explain to me how it is that Bitcoin was worth $64,000. He just laughed. He goes, there's nothing to support it. And I said, are you being, oh wow, he's being honest. He goes, not Bitcoin. I said, what? He says, no. There are other use cases out there, but understand most of this is driven by speculation. But having said that, he said, you will kick yourself in the butt, Pimpy, in a mean way if you don't invest in the cryptocurrencies. Now, again, having said that, I said, okay, but I gave my concerns again. And I said I thought cryptocurrencies were going to go down even further than where they are. And then over time, do the same thing like they did before, accumulate. And then eventually go up again, but not right away. So there was some agreement there. Not 100% agreement, but some. Anyways, I told him my fear about cryptocurrencies was this. After what's just happening, after what happened in 2017, well, actually I said what's happening now, and a lot of people lost money, people are just going to lose faith in cryptocurrencies. They're going to have a hard time coming back. But then he brought up look what happened in 2017. I said, yeah, and he goes, and this time around, there's even more participants in it. There's more of a mass adoption into it, which is true. I was like, dang, that's a good point. I said, but all we're doing is talking about speculation on the market. Don't get me wrong. People are into this to make money, man. Everybody wants to make money. But how do you compare this to stocks, like blue chip stocks, where you hold on to them? He said, blue chip stocks crash. I said, what? He goes, on the market, they'll drop big time. I was like, that's true. And he goes, okay. Do people sell them off? No, they hold on to them. They know eventually they'll recover. So let me bring something to your attention that he brought to mind. He said, if you're looking at stocks that pay you dividends, right? You don't care how much it goes up and down in value. You don't care because you just get your dividends. The only time you're ever really caring about the value of a stock that's going up and down when it's just the stock's value that you can gain from. I said, true. And he says, okay, so start looking for some of these cryptocurrencies are going to be like makeshift banks. There are cryptocurrencies out there right now in which they pay you dividends or they pay you a percentage like a bank. Compound is on the Coinbase platform. He says, there you go. So like it's better than a bank. What's it pay? I go, I think it pays 6%, as high as 8%. He goes, there are cryptocurrencies out there in which if you stake them, just leave them alone, they pay as high as 15, 18% for some of them. So if you had 100,000 in there, wouldn't you like to get back 15 or 18% on your investment every year? I was like, hell yeah. He goes, do you understand why these types of cryptos are going to get adopted and they'll never go away? So I'm slightly changing my tune a little bit. I'm going to start doing more research into tokens that do exactly what he was talking about. I am aware of Compound, COMPOND, on Coinbase. If you guys want to see the token, the link is down below to Coinbase. You can follow it and sign up for Coinbase. You'll see it in there. So there are some cryptos in which you could leave your money in like a bank. Just let it sit there. And it will accumulate interest much higher than a bank. Right now, banks aren't paying anything. They're down there zero, and they're getting ready to go negative. Which, in other words, it's going to cost you money to stay in their account. So while they're going negative, you can run over to cryptocurrencies and keep it there and earn interest off it. Yeah. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to do some research into some of these tokens where if you're just leaving your money there, it's paying you just to keep it there. Better than a bank will. So I like that. What I don't like is if they try to go 100% digital and force us into this crap, because then it can control your money at all times, and I don't like that. But for now, I'm rightfully very weary of cryptocurrencies. I do believe what's happening right now is a planned event. And if it's a planned event for a second time, so 2017 they did this, and they're doing it now in 2021. If even one of the two is accurate, why the hell would I feel confident about investing in something that can be manipulated that way? If you think about it. Why do I want that to happen? You see, what's being manipulated about cryptocurrencies is the artificial pump, causing everybody to go flooding over there. The difference between this manipulation and the manipulation of precious metals is they're artificially keeping the value of gold and silver down, but they can only do it so long. Like I said, gold and silver is like a beach ball that you're already holding underwater. Eventually it's going to pop up. Where cryptocurrencies to me are like a helium balloon. You let it go, sure goes up, but eventually it comes down. I told you over here, we were here. You guys said, oh, it's starting to rebound. Look at it. And it went down. Oh, it's starting to rebound. And it goes down. A Wyckoff event. So I am going to be keeping an eye on the cryptocurrencies. I do think this will fall a little bit more. And then I'm going to keep an eye on them. And then I think I'm going to try investing into ones that I think will be successful despite what happens to the market. And like he said, buy them. Don't look at them. If you look at them every day, I said that my joke is on my video. I told him that if you have a bad heart, you don't want to invest in cryptos. Yeah, he calls them cardio cryptos, cardiac cryptos. So very funny. Anyways, yeah, you guys, look, it's still going down. It's now most cases 50% or less of its highest 52-week or its 52-week high All right, so don't be surprised. I still think it's going to continue to go down just a smidgen. Although Uniswap still seems to be kicking boo-boo. And Polkadot, where you at? Yeah, Polkadot's still on its high side. There's the two I talked about. And my Ethereum still around, I don't know, 50%. Yeah, come on, Ethereum. I have faith in you more than any other crypto. Their platform is the biggest. Okay, so let's get into gold and silver because I'll refresh and we'll see where we're at. Because gold is up again. It's at 1882. Usually it's around 1870, so not too much of a jump. Still around the same area. But man, everybody's eagerly anticipating what's coming up here. So we got this next week with watching what silver does. Hopefully you guys are stacking right now, man. Seriously, if you're not, you need to get over the money metals. Start stacking on your silver. Because this is the month for silver deliveries. I'm curious to see how much leaves the comics. It should tell you everything you need to know. John Adams just posted something. I wish I would have thought about it ahead of time. He posted something about Perth manipulating, once again, their inventory. And they are way down by the hundreds of millions than they had previously reported. And then we know the LBMA did what? They misreported over 100 million some ounces. So these people are hundreds of millions of ounces lower than they told you. So they don't have the silver, you guys. Start buying now. So anyways, our friends over there at Wall Street Silver, he was suggesting you guys come over, subscribe to them. They are good. They have a good video right here. This is a good boy, Gregory Manarino. I love the way he talks. Boy, he's definitely a New Yorker. So anyways, listen to what he says a little bit. I'm just going to play a small part of it. Shout out to the boys over there at, Wall Street Silver. This is a good video. I like Greg. Listen what Greg says about silver. Although here he praises cryptocurrencies in the beginning. I'll leave the link for this so you can come hear what he says. But he gets into, listen what he says about silver.
So, Greg, you have a very different view on silver, I believe, right? I mean, you really just buy that and hold it. You're never trading silver. And is that correct?
Yes, I have traded the ETS from time to time, but I'll tell you right now, and most people know this because I've disclosed this, I usually lose money. With regard to the physical assets, I haven't traded the ETF in a long time. It took a while for me to learn my lesson, but it's too rigged. But with regard to physical silver, gold, platinum, palladium, I own all of them. And I have not added to my positions in a long time because I have a lot of it. I've been buying silver since, I don't remember, $6 or $8. Wow. It was something along those lines. And gold when it was, I don't know, 600 or 700, something along those lines. So, and I have no intention whatsoever of selling the physical asset for the foreseeable future. And we'll see how that ends up coming down the line here. But no, again, what am I waiting for? With regard to precious metals, again, they're considered risk-off assets. We are in a risk-on environment right now. This is going to flip at 1.2 risk-off. And if people think that the price of gold or silver is high right now, what are they basing that on? I look at the Dow gold ratio. I look at the silver to gold ratio. The Dow gold ratio is 18. That tells me that gold is a screaming buy. And then if gold is a screaming buy, and then we look at silver, like I think the ratio is about 66. Yes. I mean, come on now. It goes back to what I've been saying for the longest time. It's massively undervalued. I think it's still the most undervalued asset in the history of the world. So,
the most undervalued asset in the history of the world. It's going to catch up.
I tell people if you have to invest in one thing, it's silver. I love it. I actually love silver. I'm in love with silver. Like I look at like bars of silver, my own bars of. I even have a few little coins laying around here on my desk, and I rub them all over my body.
Nice.
All right, I just wanted to play a small clip. I will leave the link for this so you guys can come check the whole thing out. In the beginning, he's saying, look, if you're not investing in cryptocurrencies, then you're a fool. You should be invested in them partially. So I'm at least being honest about that. But nonetheless, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you to come over and check this out. The link's down below. It's a great interview. I just wanted to play that part where he's saying, like, look, I have physical gold and silver. If you are being forced to invest in only one thing, he said it would be silver. All right? So that's it for now, you guys. Let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so. Remember, June 28th is coming up very quickly, so start stacking now. I'm curious to see how this week goes for silver. Should be very interesting, considering we're anticipating a lot of people, removing the metal out of the comics. That's it. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because you do helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. That's it for now. I'm out.